Dun 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 dun. Yeah, that's that's the introduction. It's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been like 4 months since our last episode, and this is episode number 35, which is the favorite number. So I had to wear something appropriate. I got my ancient Kevin Durant shirt from back when he was. I don't really follow basketball. This is ages ago, but it says 35. Um, but yeah, welcome back. A lot of reasons why it's taken me so long to get this episode going. One of them was that I had decided on a beer for this episode, a very appropriate beer, and then realized that it wasn't available until summer. So that was part of it. And another part of it was that, I don't know, I just started to question, like, I know at the beginning I said I didn't care if anybody watched, but I started doing these, and it's like, well, it's kind of cool that people watch, but not that many people watch. I get it. It's it's license plates and beer. It's a pretty small that Venn diagram of people that are interested in license plates and beer. Man, that's a pretty small sliver. But hey, for those of you that are genuinely interested and aren't just watching because you're my family or friends, then that's great. Thank you. Um, and yeah, thank you to my family and friends who are watching it just because they want to support me. So anyway, back to the episode. It's the 35th episode, so I picked an appropriate beer. Like I said, it wasn't available until, gosh, I think it was May. So I just, at that point, I'd already waited a couple months and I said, this is the beer that I want to do. So I'm going to wait. And then it just, things have dragged on. Definitive Brewing in Portland, Maine. They started in 2017, but they opened their Portland location in 2018. And they're right across Industrial Way from Allagash, in case you know where that is. And this is their 35 session IPA, and it's named 35 because that's their address, 35 Industrial Way. And then session, it's not really a type of beer; it's just an adjective that means low alcohol. And appropriately, it's 3.5% alcohol. So very easy drinking. You know, I've heard the session beers described as they're not really too anything, but it's gosh, it's probably been about a year since I've had this. Um, Obviously, I tried it because of the can, but it's pretty good beer. 3.5%. Um, and the pint glass, I had a lot of choices to go with, but I thought it was probably appropriate that I go with the bitter beer Divine Barrel Brewing pint glass that my sister got me. So thank you again. And as it turns out, I just probably 2 nights ago had my last um, Divine Barrel defensive pancake porter. I held on to that thing until from November until a few days ago, mid-July, and boy, it was so good. And now it's all gone. But anyway, thanks for that. So anyway, now let's do the beer. This episode's a little awkward. I'm out of practice. You can see the wood pile back there. That's all new from April. We burned through the other stuff, as you can imagine. Anyway, so there's the 35 can, and yeah, here we go. Trying to remember how they described this on their definitive described it on their website as like tiny melons and fresh produce, and I can't remember, there was some other kind of fruit reference in there, but anyway. All right. Well, hazy. I mean, it's an IPA, so yeah, smells like an IPA, a little hoppy. But as we already know, it's a session ale, so it's going to be, you know, smooth. Slancha. Oh yeah, see, yeah, very refreshing. Which I mean, totally get why it's only a summer beer because I mean 3.5% IPA. It's like perfect for summer. Mm. One of the other reasons that I've been struggling trying to get the next episode up and running is I hate looking into this camera and seeing myself. It makes me self-conscious, and I'm not the world's funniest person, but I don't know. Just these episodes, they're not what I want them to be, and I don't have any interest in spending the money to get a setup that would give me what I really want. Because it goes back to the viewership. It's like I'm not going to spend however much money for the 30 of you that are going to watch. Sorry, it's just not worth it to me, you know. So, but that's good beer. All right, so appropriate license plate today, as well as you can imagine, um, happens to be from Delaware. Delaware's a unique state. I was going to say weird. That's not true. It's a unique state as far as they have a very um, unique kind of market. You've probably seen in the past, kind of across your news feed and passing, news stories about license plates in like Saudi Arabia selling for like $8 million and whatever. They'll sell the rights to the plate, and somebody will buy the plate to not just the plate, but the rights to use the plate as a registration for their vehicle. They'll pay a ton of money for it. It doesn't work that way in the United States, except in Delaware. In Delaware, there is a very lucrative market for low number license plates, and they sell the rights to them just like they do in Saudi Arabia and other places. And I'm pretty sure that Delaware is the only state that does that. So license plates in Delaware can trade hands for tens and literally hundreds of thousands of dollars because you're not just buying the physical plate, you're buying the plate and the right to put that to register your vehicle with it. So it's just it, I'm not aware of any other state that does that stuff. I mean, low numbers are sought after, especially like in New England, but those are usually handled and passed down like through families or given out as political favors, whatever. But in Delaware, it's just pay up. So the thing about Delaware, the other unique thing about Delaware is that they have not had a what they call a replate, which is when all there's like a new license plate design and all the vehicles have to use the new plate. Some states are like that. Other states they just issue the new design to new registrations. So Delaware has not had a replate since, I should know it right off the top of my head, it's like 1942 or something like that. So there's some old license plates that technically still could be in use. And there are also companies that are authorized to reproduce plates of the older styles so people can use them on their vehicles. There's stipulations to that. I won't get into it because you probably don't care. What I will show you, so Delaware, some states are going to like flat plates now, and they generally look like trash. The typeface for the numbers looks horrible and whatever. But Delaware has been issuing flat plates in the style that they use now since 1963. And they changed just slightly in 1970, and I won't bore you with that crap either. But so since 1970, they've looked pretty much like this. And this is a commercial plate with the CL. The regular passenger plates, they just have the numbers without this. Up to 6 numbers across like that. And yeah, I did pick this because it had a 35 in it. So, but they've been, flat just like this. Just like this with the gold border since 1970. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool looking plate, really, even if it is flat. It's probably the best looking flat plate out there. You can guess. I don't care for the flat plates. In states like Maine, during the wintertime, the grime and crap gets all over I mean, you're not going to be able to read this on the back of a Maine vehicle in the wintertime. Absolutely not. It's just going to be covered with crap. It's going to be useless. But if you have the raised letters and numbers, you can still make those out. And even just by the numbering sequence, you can tell what state it's from, and actually the variations in the type of dies they use. So if you're a nerd like me, but so I showed you this to show you what it looks like. That's not really the plate I came to talk about. Um, I'm just going to show you the plate. It looks like that. Um, it really pays off to have people know what you collect. Big plate guy in Delaware happened to remember that I collect plates with the number 35 and shot me a message one day, said, "Hey, you interested in this?" And I was like, yeah. So here it is. You can't tell probably from this angle, but if I do this, you can see that these numbers, they're not, those are raised, which is different. They're actually riveted on. What that means is this is a replacement. Replacements, they rivet numbers on like this. There you go. So the thing about this plate, I was telling you how there was a market to resell, to sell the rights to this plate. So in a manner, in one consideration, this is the most expensive license plate that I own, because I asked the guy that I bought this from, Delaware Plate Expert, if this were for sale on the market for registration, like to register this to a vehicle, how much would it go for? And he said, and just a coincidence, I guess, he said it'd be about $350,000. So, of course, this isn't registration. This is just the plate. I paid a lot less than that. So, but it's cool. There it is. And that's the whole episode. So thanks for watching. Train. I don't know how often I'm going to be doing these. Like I said, this whole setup is kind of annoying to me. Just looking at myself the whole time. If I didn't have a camera staring me in the face, then, or my visage on the monitor, I would be a lot more relaxed, and these episodes would be a little more interesting. But this is what, so my budget kind of, it's right in my budget wheelhouse right now. So anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. If for some reason you haven't caught up on the other episodes, I know I've made them sound totally interesting, but yeah, feel free to watch, and post stuff to Instagram if you want to look up Plates, Pints, Plaid on there. Wish I had to think about the name of the thing. Yeah, and I'll let you know when there's another episode. So until then, see ya. Thanks.